Welcome to the Freelance Unlocked Behind the Scenes series, where I'm showcasing the amazing people who will be at the Freelance Unlocked Conference, the first and the best conference for freelancers that it made with love, and it'll take place in Berlin on May 14th, 15th, 2025. If you're a freelancer in Europe, it's an event made for you to learn, exchange experiences, and build your network of great freelancers and experts who move the freelance economy forward. So go to freelanceunlocked.com and grab your ticket right away. My name is Yuri. I'm a community builder at Freelance Unlocked, and my guest is Susanne Schlösser, a transformational business, career, and organizational coach who helps individuals and organizations reach the next level of success. So, hello, Susanne.
Hello.
Super happy to get to know you even before the conference. So, tell me, how are you connected with the freelance world?
I'm working with a client for, I think, 10 years now, and she has a boutique agency for freelancers. So she is a matchmaking agency for freelancers in the writing field, journalism, for example, or content marketers, or yeah, people like that. And she makes great connections to the corporate world. So yeah, and so I'm working with her for 10 years now, and in this field I had lots of webinars or wrote newsletters and made events with her for the freelancers, and that's my connection to the freelance world.
Sounds like you know so much about the freelance world. So, give me a sneak peek into what you'll be talking about on the Freelance Unlocked stage.
Yeah, I talk about fees and negotiations and yeah, especially how to calculate fields. And for me, it's always, I have the experience, lots of freelancers, when it comes to the fee, they sell a product, not themselves. And it's just so important that they sell their service and their skills and their own brand and not only product. For example, if you sell a text and another person sells a text for 10 euros less, people will buy the cheaper one. But if you talk about how about all your experience, about what comes with the text, how you what are your different skills all around this, you and if you create your own brand and your USP, you can develop your own fee separately from the market. And that's really important to understand how you can create your own fee upside the market. And I will give a few tips what is important to consider in a negotiation as well. So from the preparation to the execution to the follow up. So it's not only about how to create your own fee and how to sell yourself or how to make great proposal. It's also about the negotiation itself. That's what I will talk about.
What is one most common challenge that freelancers face when it comes to negotiation about increasing their fees?
One of the biggest challenge for freelancers when it comes to justifying or increasing their fees is what I already said, that they often just sell their product. That means that when a freelancer sells a text, for example, as I told you before, it's hard to sell a service or to explain the fee. So it's really important to sell your actual skills, such as I have experience in this area or that area. I can do CEO, I can write newsletters in addition to the actual text, etc. pp. And so, or I can prepare different channels or so on. So it's important to sell all your services and yourself and not only your product. That's really important. And that's a really big issue when it comes to freelancing. And when it comes to increasing your fees, I always say you have to talk about money like new parents talk about diapers or porridge. It's about your mindset and how you talk about money also. And lots of freelancers, when it comes to their fees, they are a little ashamed and, or is it too high, or what do the others take for the same thing? And that's, I think, one big issue in the freelancing world. It's not only a freelancer, so you're a brand and you are kind of a company. So have the mindset you need for this and feel confident with talking about money. I think this is really an important skill.
How to be confident? What is one thing people need to have in their mind to be confident while talking about money?
I think there's not one thing to have in your mind. I think it's practicing a lot to talk about money, because when it comes in the private field, lots of people don't talk about money. It's always a little bit like they are ashamed and nobody wants to talk about how much they earn. And it's about talking, yeah, like I said before, like parents about diapers. Be confident with what are you talking about, and practice in your private fields, practice with other freelancers, talk about how do they go with the fees, how do they talk about it, and yeah, practice it a lot so you are confident when it comes to an important negotiation.
So usually when freelancers want to increase their fees, they worry about losing clients. They worry that
Mhm.
the moment they will announce new rates, the client's like, oh, okay, we'll go to a cheaper one. So how can freelancers communicate the value of their work to justify higher prices effectively?
I think it's important that freelancers do not only increase their fees when, yeah, it comes to their mind. So it's all about habits. If you, for example, increase your fees every year in the beginning of the year, the expectations of your customers are totally different because they know about it. And if you, for example, communicate about your fees, you can, when you start with a customer, you tell them, this is my fee for this year. So it's a lot about the communication, how you communicate your fees. And if you tell them, yeah, this is my fee for 2025, the customer, yeah, is kind of already, or it no already knows that next year there will could be another fee. And if you write, for example, every January email or letter or whatever, how you communicate with the customer, so have a nice, I don't know, week, whatever, and the fees for this year will be that. The custom, the first thing is you don't have to increase very much because you do it every year and not every third or fifth year. So the increases are not too high and it's not too hard for the client. And the client is, yeah, already, yeah, knows that every year this email will come and it's okay. So I think it's about how, yeah, h- how you increase it and how often and how you communicate it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a very important point that you made that when you write that hi, here are my rates for this year for like 2025, 2026, then it's kind of like already you're planting the seed
Yeah.
that the rates will be increased. Like get ready for that. And then like you are gently like, hey, by the way, my rates are higher, 5-10%. By the way, do you have this number? Like what is a good percentage of increasing rates over the year?
I think 5% is totally okay. In some years, maybe even 10, but it shouldn't be one year 2 and the other 15. So I would decide, so between 5 or 10 something. Yeah, if you say for me it's 7.5, it's also okay. But you should have the same increasing every year. So the clients already know what will come the next year. And for example, you just said, "Oh, here comes the mail." This is what I meant with the mindset. No, it's not about, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to increase my fees." It's about, as you know, this year the fees will increase as every year. Please notice that my fee for this year will this or that. It's about how do you communicate it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. When you're asking like sorry and stuff, people like, ah, why
Hmm.
should they do this? But when you're just
Hmm.
telling them like, hey, your prices are increasing, like here are new prices, like let's get ready for that. And people like, no, okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So
And for example, when I don't know, everything in the supermarket, the prices increase, or when you buy some oil or some gas or whatever, it increases, you won't say, okay, I won't buy it anymore. And I think this mindset is really important for every freelancer to understand your service it's not upside the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super important. I can imagine that you're going to supermarket and like, hey, your prices were lower yesterday. Why are there new prices? Nobody asks, but
Yeah.
yeah, they still need to eat and gas your car. Okay, so what is one small step that freelancers who want to ask for higher rates need to take right away?
I think the first thing is not to ask for higher rates, to be honest. It's to communicate that there will be higher rates.
Exactly. It's a whole difference between asking and communicating because when you're asking, you are not sure and like, hey, can I get that? And then you are kind of like waiting for an answer from the client. But when you are communicating, it's so much different because you are telling like, hey, I'm this expert, I'm doing this, I'm increasing my prices. We are going to continue our work with a little higher things. So as it's what I understand about it.
Yeah, that's exact. And what I tell the people I'm working with always, it's who ask a lot of questions, get a lot of answers. So if you don't want to have an answer, don't ask a question. And if you want to tell people something, what is important for you, tell it and not ask. So it's a difference between a question and just a sentence. I think this is really important on that in that point. And another point here is that when you work as a freelancer for a longer time with a customer, you get to know the customer better. You know their needs, you know their brand, you know everything. And this is really valuable. This mindset is also really important that you know how valuable your work is as longer as you work with these people. And so it's totally okay to increase your fees.
I wish to have the sky as a limit, but time is the limit to our conversation. So the final question, what is your quick
Yes.
take on the freelance economy and how it will develop in the near future?
I think what is really important is that the companies change their mindset about freelancers, and freelancers need to work on that too. Because what kind of contract the freelancer or an employee has with a company doesn't make any difference. If the people are really good integrated in the company and if they are really integrated in teams and in workflows, etc. So I think we should not make so big differences just because the contract is another type of contract. It's the same with part-time or full-time who with employees. So have a look at the people you're working with, at their skills and how what is the value they bring into the team and into the company, and don't think about contracts. And I think both sides need to change the mind. So freelancers need to be more integrated, but they need to force that as well. So give me information, let me have let no, let me be in your, I don't know, Slack, Teams, whatever. I want to know more about that, and not only my small information I need for example, that text. Yeah. So I want to need about the whole campaign. I want to know about the whole campaign. I want to understand everything you do. And if you are integrated as a freelancer, the same as an employee, you will be, yeah, you will be a part of it. And then it's not a question of do you get another project, or do you, yeah, will you be on the payroll for the next 1 or 2 years? So you're a part of it.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And I'm curious, you will be a speaker at the Freelance Unlocked, but what would you say to your friend if they asked you whether they should go to the conference?
I think as a freelancer, it's really good to have a conference like Freelance Unlocked, because you have the possibility to network, to get people, to get in touch with people who are doing similar things as you. You have the same challenges as you. You get really good inspiration and input for your business. I think this is a really great opportunity for everybody who is in the freelancing field. And especially freelancers are a lot on their own. So to get out of their home, to get out of their office, and to go to an event like Freelance Unlocked is, I think, a really good opportunity to bring your business on the next level.
And what is the best way to connect with you even before the conference?
You can connect with me via LinkedIn, for example, but also on my website, there's my email address. So feel free to connect me wherever you want.
Got it, Susanne. Thank you so much for sharing your experience even before the conference, and can't wait to meet you very soon in person.
Same here.
And for those who listen,
So,
I hope you learn
uh,
from Susanne's experience, and thank you to her in person at the Freelance Unlocked Conference on May 14th, 15th, 2025 in Berlin. So go to the freelanceunlocked.com, grab your ticket, and meet you there.